Right, okay guys, so today's video is going to be another pickups video. Now in this one you're going to find that I've got a few Music Magpie pickups and some Black Friday deals that I was waiting to come through. So they didn't make it for my last video, but they will do on this one. I will look down occasionally because I've got a price list of how much everything was, so bear with me, but we'll get through it. Right, let's get on with it. So first of all, Music Magpie, we have got Rambo. Now this is Rambo 4, although it's called Rambo. It's from a time when I used to do this sort of stupid thing where rather than name it Rambo 4 or Fast and the Furious 4, no, it had to be Rambo or Fast and Furious, and then they hope that the normal public understands what they're doing, which quite often they don't. So anyway, cracking film, probably one of the best Rambos actually in a lot of ways, which a lot of us didn't see coming when this came out. You know, he was a lot older at this point, but my God, the last 15 minutes of this film are brutal. Like, it's a bloodbath. Really good film. Now, you might be wondering, why have I got this on Blu-ray? Well, I'll tell you why. It's not released on 4K in this country, so the only way to really get it is to import it. And also, it's really not worth getting on 4K because actually, it's just upscaled. So you might as well go with a cheaper option and buy the Blu-ray, which is what I've done. You know, this is £2.59. If I'd have got the imported 4K version of this, I would have paid over 20 quid, around about £22. It's really not worth it for the same quality. So I picked up the Blu-ray. Then we move on to the Equalizer 2. I have the Equalizer 2 digitally, but I didn't have it physically. I still need to get the third one, but that's another story. This one I picked up from Music Magpie. Now the funny thing was, I got this at a second-hand price, but it came through sealed. Interesting, right? I've had this happen before with Music Magpie. I don't know if someone makes a mistake, or maybe it's just all they got to hand at the time, but I ended up with a sealed copy. Now I should add, this was not my favourite Equalizer film at the time when this came out, and I'd watched it a couple of times and it never quite really sat well with me. And I think it's because, unlike the first one and the third one, it's not him going up against like local mafias or crime gangs or whatever. This one he's going up against his old special forces team, you know. And I am obviously clear on the fact that I am giving away a few spoilers here, but this has been out a while now, guys. So, but I'm only going to give a little minor bit about the film. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's against his special forces team. So it kind of changes the dynamic of the story. However, the more times I watch this, the more I enjoy it. So it's interesting. You know, first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it wasn't as good as the first one. You know, and then the third one came out and I was, oh, the third one was better than the second one, I think. But the more I watch this, the more I'm like, actually, this is a good film. I think you just got to see it for what it is, you know, it's just different. So yeah, I picked up Equalizer 2. Like I say, I still need to get the third, but I got this one for £3, so bargain. And then we move on to the next one. Now this one's a classic, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, although there would have been controversy at the time about Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles over here. This film I've got a lot of memories of. This is a DVD upgrade. I do already own this. The reason I've got a lot of memories of this film is because back in the day when this came out, me and a friend of mine, we picked up a dodgy pirate of this on VHS from the marketplace. It was that bad you could see people's heads bobbing up and down. You could hear people rustling popcorn, you know, people coughing. It was one of them dodgy filmed in a cinema jobbies. But we didn't care. We just wanted to watch the film. And for its time, this was a really good film. And I would argue it's still a good film even now. There's a lot of things in the storyline here that kids can take away. Things that you don't get in modern films. You know, everything now has to be a shade of grey, don't it? This film isn't. It's clearly pointing out to you who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. And there's some good morals to the story that kids can take away from this. Which is probably why my generation grew up knowing right from wrong, to be honest. So it's because of films like this. And I'd say half the trouble you get these days with the younger generation is probably brought on by the fact that they don't do this in films for starters, or anything for that matter. So anyway, getting back to the film. The thing with this film is it's aged very well because it's all practical effects. You know, this is when they used like animatronics and puppetry for the the facial features of the turtles, etc. And let's not forget, like, there were some great martial artists in these suits. Like, how they managed to pull off some of the moves they do in these bulky suits is beyond me. But nevertheless, a good film, and I've got great memories attached to it. So I wanted to upgrade it from my DVD, and I have done. Now, I should point out, I got this for a really good price, £3.89. Now, it goes for quite a bit more if you get it anywhere else, and I managed to find this on Music Magpie. It wasn't there originally. I nearly bought this, I think, off CEX, and then it cropped up, and I was like, oh, right, I'm getting this now, so I grabbed it. There is a funny scene in this. I don't know if any of you eagle-eyed people have already seen this, but there's a part in the film where Donatello and I think it's April O'Neil are standing in the doorway of a bathroom, and Raphael's like just recovering from his beating. And there's a part where Donatello laughs. Now, I remember being a kid being quite freaked out by this, because you can see the person in the suit's mouth and eyes in his mouth, and it's very strange looking. It's quite, to a kid, you're like, what the hell? It's like the stuff that nightmares are made of. So, anyway, if you've not seen that, the next time you watch this film, just pay attention to that bit where he opens his mouth and laughs in the doorway. And you can see a human mouth and two eyes. It's very freaky. But anyway, moving on. This is Turtles, great film. Right, then we go to HMV Black Friday sale. So, got 20% off on these. Starship Troopers, been wanting to get this in the collection for quite some time. It was down to $6.39 because of the 20% off. Would have been $7.99 originally. So I grabbed it. As you can see, it's still sealed. And that's because it's took bloody ages getting here. It's only just got here. So, got here yesterday. So yeah, finally be able to watch that. Kickboxer. Now, this is a DVD upgrade. Again, this came with the Starship Troopers. Again, it was £6.39. It's a classic. Do I need to tell you anything about it? No. If you're a youngster and you've not watched it, watch it. It's a good film. Don't get me wrong, there are some cheesy bits of acting in it, but the martial arts and that are great in this, and it's just a good film to watch. So, yeah, this is an upgrade. So, and again, £6.39. Then we get on to this one. Now, this one's got an interesting story to it. So, this is Batman, the animated movies. So, I originally picked this up second-hand off Music Magpie. It came through. It was busted. All the middle tray was missing. Because this is, I'll show you here, it's a 5-film combination. So, where the tray was missing, it meant there was discs just floating around inside. So, I got onto Music Magpie and I was going to send it back. However, I cocked up the date thinking that it had to be back by the 21st for some reason, when it had to be back by the 2nd. So I didn't get it back in time. Now, in the meantime, because I thought I was getting a refund, I bought this brand new off HMV, because I noticed for, I think it worked out £2 more, so it was $11.99, because it had 20% off. It was originally $14.99. I thought, right, well, I might as well buy it brand new. It's only £2 more, and I'm getting that refund, so I basically paid £2 for it. However, because I cocked up the date, I didn't end up sending it back, so now I'm stuck with a second-hand copy of this. Do not fear, though. Martin over at the Hobby Lodge has not watched these films, so I'm going to gift it to him. So he might have to buy a new case for it, or I might buy a case for it and just, you know, give it to him. But either way, he's now got the other one, or will have the other one. So yeah, $11.99, good price. Amazon Black Friday deals. So first off, we have got Sisu. Now, you've heard me talk about this film a lot of times. However, I still haven't picked it up. And this dropped down to, where's my price list? $15.99. So it had £4 off on it. Although saying that, before Black Friday, it was more than that. I think this was about 25 quid last time I checked. So to get it for $15.99 is a good price. I'm not going to go too much into it because I've talked about this before. But if you like Rambo, you will like this. Like, you should get this film. This is very good. If you like revenge-style stories where it's one man against an opposing threat, check this film out. It's very good. Will not be disappointed. The other good thing about this film was it was done on an incredibly small budget. And it notices because there's so much practical stuff in it. And that's what makes the film really good. Also, the main star barely says anything as well, which is another interesting story. But anyway, getting on to my next one. Top Gun Maverick double pack. Now this I picked up for, what's my price? £22.49. Now the reason I bought this was because this was about 40 odd quid before it went down in price. So when I saw it at £22.49, I was like, right, I'm getting this now because I'm not paying 40 quid for this. I don't need to say any more than this. Top Gun Maverick, both great films. Own them both digitally. I did have Top Gun on DVD physically, but it was back in that time when I was getting rid of some of my DVDs because I was buying them online on Amazon. But, you know, I've seen the light. So, yeah, so Maverick I bought digitally when it came out. So now I've got them both physical on 4K. And I should add, Top Gun looks absolutely glorious in 4K. It really does. It looks absolutely spot on. So if you've not got this, get hold of it, guys. It's really good. And then last but not least, and this is probably my best Black Friday deal I've had, we have got Batman the Animated Series. I've been after this for ages, but I didn't want to pay the price it was going up to. And I've noticed that every time Amazon has a sale, whether it's a Prime Day or a Black Friday, this drops in price. So this year I was waiting for it. And because in the past, it keeps dropping down. And it's always at a time when I haven't got the money for it. And this time it dropped down and I grabbed it. So I got this for, this was £29.99. Now originally I think it was, at one point, this was about 50 quid. And I think before the Black Friday sale, I think it was £40 or 45. So I got quite a substantial amount off on it. So I pulled the trigger, I grabbed it, and man am I glad I did. I was sitting here the other day watching these. I've had some time off work. I've been sitting there watching these, you know, just reminding myself of how great this series is. It's such a good series. Some great voice actors in this as well. I forget who it is who voices the Scarecrow, but he's absolutely spot on. He does such a great job with that character. And then like you got Man Bat in the first one. And there's a lot of very like well-known actors that have done voices for this. Let's not forget Mark Hamill did the voice of the Joker, which again, as much as Mark Hamill's a bit of a dick, you can't deny his voice acting as a Joker is really good. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to keep gushing over this. It's just such a great box set. I had to get it. And that is it for today's pickups video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, I've had some fantastic deals. And where I've had some time off, obviously buying these was great because it gave me a chance to watch them as well. So yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing anything. I just basically took the time off because I had some holiday left over. And I thought, you know what, why not just sit at home, chill, watch some movies, which is exactly what I've been doing. So, and playing some games, of course. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.